DKU TV.
Welcome to Tarantula Cloud number 13. This is Deal of the Night, and we're going to start off this week's cloud with my new addition. This is a species that I've been wanting for a long time. Haven't really found a good price on it until today. I went into my local pet store and finally found one of my favorite species, and that is the Pamphobedius fortis, the Colombian brown. My wife named this one Willow. This is close to a 4-inch female. At least I think it's female. I haven't obviously sexed it completely yet, but as we know with these Pamphobedius species, the male looks completely different from the female. So right now I believe this is a female. The guys in the pet store, I love those guys in there. They just really don't know what they have in their inventory. You can literally walk in there and drop off any tarantula you want, and they'll buy it from you. And they have a tarantula specialist on hand, but he's only there on the weekends. So during the week, he has to go off of what they explain to them, what is brought in. And he kind of makes a judgment over the phone a lot of times, and they'll take a picture and he'll make a judgment on it. He obviously wants to make a profit on it, but a lot of times he doesn't even really know what he's got in there. They had this label as a Pamphobedius fortis. They did not know what sex it was. They did not know how old it was. All they know was the Pamphobedius fortis. So they had it marked for $70. I talked them down to 50, and so I got this lady here for $50, and I really can't believe I got this tarantula for $50. It's worth a lot more than that. Now this is one welcome addition to my collection. I finally got me a Pamphobedius, and I'm really happy about it. Not as pretty as the Ultramarinus and the Platyama, but these are some. The fortis is, I think, is an underrated Pamphobedius. On to the feedings. Tattoo, Tarantulas marinus, orange baboon tarantula. This is my beautiful, strikingly orange OBT, who has been coming out on top of this webbing here for the last few months. She kind of took a little bit of like a 2 or 3 week break and was going back to eating in her webs, waiting for the cricket to crawl down in there. But she's been coming back out again. She's going to begin a rehouse soon. I'm just going to literally take the webs out and stick them into... she's in a mini critter keeper right now. She'll be going into a small one. I'm just going to stick them in there and let her web it up and do her thing. And I know at that time I probably will not be able to see her as often, but that's okay because I've been able to see her a lot here lately, and I'm able to capture things like this. She is reclosing up her exit hole there in her webs, and you don't always get footage like this, especially from an OBT, but she's not shy at all. Again, that might change in the future, but right now I'm really enjoying her willingness to come out and eat on top of the webs, and I get to film her. She only comes out when she eats like this. She doesn't walk around on the, I never see her unless she's eating. I don't see anything, so it's amazing that she actually comes out. She's very, very greedy, and whenever a cricket hits those webs, it's no time, she's out, and she's coming after them, and that's really awesome. Hopefully, maybe she'll keep that a little bit of a personality when she gets older, but I doubt it. But it's fun to see her like this as slings. This is one of the reasons why I like to raise slings, is because sometimes they do have different personalities than their, adult personalities. Sometimes they're a little more bold when they're slings. Fantasy, Cyclocerna fasciatum, the Costa Rican tiger rump. One of 2 of my fasciatum. This is the more aggressive one, as you can see. Mystery, her counterpart, is very quiet and reclusive and doesn't really do anything, so hopefully I can get him or her on camera more in the future, because they're both really awesome. This one's a little bigger than Mystery. I believe they're not really... I got them at the same time out of the same sack from the same dealer, and their growth rates are different, so I believe I have a male and a female. Which one, I don't know yet, obviously. Andromeda, Chromatus, Brazilian white striped bird eater. Nothing need to be said about this tea. As far as the eating goes, look at this. That is a greedy tarantula. what does need to be said about these teas is that they're strikingly beautiful, as we all know, and they do eat like crazy. This one used to be one of my more shy, reclusive teas, and as she has gotten older, or he has gotten older, I haven't been able to properly sex her yet. Andromeda has been really good about coming out and eating on camera now. She doesn't go running every time I come in the room or turn the light on or touch the enclosure. She's still very skittish, but she won't just run and hide. She'll run for a second and then she will come back out and I can film her and take pictures of her. She actually is one of my better teas to photograph now, because she'll come out and let me get a good look at her, and she'll eat on camera, and she's not shy. So I mean, it's good that she's doing that because she's very beautiful. Ink, Phonopelma Samani, the Costa Rican zebra. Not showing any adult colors yet. Growing like molasses, as usual for an Phonopelma, but she is an awesome tea and has a really great appetite as a sling, unlike my other two slings, my Chalcodes, who have very horrible appetites and never eat on camera. Olympus, Paraphysa scrofa, the Chilean copper. Another one of my marquee beauties in my collection. This one has some very beautiful colorations on her. That abdomen down there at the bottom, underneath her abdomen there, coming off that red cape with the blushing of the red there, with the white on her bottom. I mean, that white is really white. And the camera never ever picks up the colors of how it really looks in off camera in natural lighting. This tea is very gorgeous. You can see it there how white that is. It's literally white with the little red cape. She is very beautiful, and the pink is actually a lot pinker than what this camera's picking up. And all that together, especially with those goldish, copperish looking hairs on the abdomen there, this tea is really beautiful. I can't wait to see what this tea is gonna look like when it gets older with a few more molts. Fahrenheit, Brachypelma boehmei, the Mexican red knee. This is one of my teas that I love to watch because it has a very funny and unique personality. Doesn't do a whole lot, but when it does do something, it's usually, it's really hard to explain for this personality of this tea. It's just a funny little tea. When it does something, it's usually always funny or fast or something crazy she's doing in there. I really like this is one of the teas I like to watch because it's always doing something in there. But when it's doing nothing, it's doing nothing. It's sitting in the same spot for 3 or 4 days. Argos, non-due Carapoensis, Brazilian red. My little lady who thinks she's a lot bigger. As you can see there. One of my hardest hitters in my collection, well, one of my smallest ones. She's not even an inch long yet. She's about 3/4 inch, maybe pushing an inch if she's lucky when she's stretched all the way out. And another tea obviously is not showing any adult coloration yet. Growth rate is not too bad. She's gaining some considerable size, but still little girl. Venus, Phonopelma Chalcodes, Desert / Mexican blonde. Her temperament, she was actually featured in my first editorial video that I made. I'll put the link up for that. But she is not quite as sweet as she used to be. She's starting to get back there. Her coloration is already browning up a little bit, so she's starting to get some of her blonde back. But her temperament, she's a little less docile and a little more cautious and alert and aware of her surroundings now. That might been before she was in a pretty long pre-molt when I got her. Because I believe I got her back in November or December in 2012, and she might have just been in pre-molt. That's why she's so docile, but she's still very sweet. She's a Phonopelma. They're not going to get so aggressive, but she's quite different. Rogue, Acanthoscurria Chacoana, Bolivian salmon pink. You can see the big rump there, and the very drab colors. She is in pre-mold. She's been in pre-mold for a while. She's literally due any week now. She's just got a little small cricket there just to keep her hungry. This is the first time she's eaten for me in a long time. I just thought I would throw a little something in there for her because I figured she might be a little hungry. But as you can see there, rump's huge, got a bald spot back there, drab color. She's ready to molt, and I'd be very happy when she does because she's actually quite beautiful. Luna, avicularia, pink toe. This is my wife's tarantula, and she got a whole new setup. She was in those Rubbermaid Walmart jars that John 3800 uses, and I put her in this large critter keeper. It has the same height as those Rubbermaid jars, except they're 4 times as long. And Luna actually likes to crawl on the glass there and move around quite a bit. And the Rubbermaid container was a little bit too small for her, but it housed her well for a while. It's just after she molted, it just got a little bit too small in that for her. And I wanted to give her a bigger enclosure because, again, it's my wife's tarantula, and she likes to show her off to friends and family when they come over. And I thought this might be a nice enclosure. She's got I took a half piece of cork bark down at the bottom there, and I just put some other bark on the side, some actual tree bark, and kind of made like a little tree trunk, and put a little elephant in there to kind of make her look bigger than what she actually is. And she actually loves the tree trunk, and I kind of make it look like a little forest bottom there, and it's actually a very beautiful enclosure. It came out really well, and again, a lot of people, this is the first enclosure they look at now when they come to look at my teas. And she's also eating again on camera with regularity, which is also great. Phoenix, Brachypalmamelia, Mexican painted redleg. And this little lady's appetite obviously never goes away. For Brachypalma, she eats very well, just like all the brackies. Never goes on a long fasting period, even before a pre-molt. She'll eat all the way up until she molts. And she doesn't always take down multiple prey. Most of the time she'll take down one, and then she'll be fine. But as you can see here, she's got a mouthful of food. She's a little greedy. I've been giving some of my teas worms for a little change in diet. I usually do that for maybe about a month, just to mix it up a little bit. Then I go back to crickets. So this is her first cricket meal in a while. And one thing about her, when she's eating, she doesn't want things escaping her mouth, as you can see here. The cricket's trying to escape. She's not happy about it at all. So she doesn't have to worry about that with those worms. But these crickets, she gets a little impatient with them sometimes. But that's why she's one of my favorite teas. She has a cute personality. Genesis, Salmopoeis Cambridgei, Trinidad Chevron. This is my male. He's not mature yet, but he's obviously showing male tendencies as far as his lack of movement now. He just sits in that corner. He'll come around and excavate and do what he's got to do in his enclosure, but most of the time he's in this corner just waiting for some food or just chilling and waiting. He's not nearly as mobile as he used to be. He was never really that mobile, even back when I thought he was a female, but he's really not mobile now. He just kind of sits down in there, and he'll move around the glass a little bit, but he's very content with just sitting there out in the open. Scarlet Acanthoscuria Geniculata, Brazilian giant white knee. She never disappoints when it's time to get her food in. She's another one who I went back to crickets for. As you can see, I don't think I've fed anyone worms in this video. Everyone's on crickets, but the good thing about crickets is that these tarantulas chase the crickets around, where the worms, they kind of just flop there and then they'll get them. But Scarlet always has good attacks with the crickets because she'll come running out and chase them around for a bit. This was a good opportunity for me to film Scarlet's cute little happy dance, like most Geniculatas do after they eat, or Acanthoscurias anyway. Right, next up we have Cotton Candy, Grammostola Maule, the Chilean Gold Fluff. I've had a lot of people ask me. I was going to go ahead and address those of you who asked where I got this one from. I got this tarantula from Jamie's Tarantulas online in the US. And if you want one of these, they're very hard to find in the United States. overseas, I heard, especially in Europe, I hear that they're not as rare as they are here in the United States. But I have not seen this tarantula since it's been on Jamie's website. I believe she had 4 of them. I bought 1 of them, and I have not seen them on there before I bought it or after. And I never even heard of the tarantula before I bought it. I do love the coloration of it. It's a very beautiful tarantula. If you happen to find one, I highly recommend you buy it if the price is right and you trust the dealer, because this is a wild caught animal. You're not going to really find one captive bred. So if you find one, I would say grab it. Raven, Formitirus concertes, Haitian brown bird eater. That's a hit. Like my Geniculata, this lady never disappoints. I actually bought her and my Geniculata the same day, a little over a year ago. Both of them as a 3/4 inch. And you can see the size difference. She's a little bit bigger than Scarlet. Actually, she's about almost an inch longer than Scarlet. But bulk-wise, they kind of look like they're the same. But obviously, the Concertus is a little more leggy, so. She actually lost a little bit of her personality as well after her last molt. She's not really aggressive, and she's not really defensive. I don't know. I've maybe seen her throw a threat posture 1 or 2 times. I don't really bother her. I usually, if I have to do something there, she's eating or she's very well fed. So I don't really know. I don't rehouse her much because I've always kept her in something a little bigger than need be. But she's a mover. She walks around a lot, and I really don't want to have to deal with this tarantula if I don't have to. So she stays in a little bit larger one, but she's been a little more reclusive. She's not out in the open as much as she used to be, and when she is, she just sits there all day. Before she used to crawl around all the place, but she was a sling then. So this is awesome tea. If you don't have one, I highly recommend this tarantula. That's gonna do it for this tarantula cloud, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. Find me on Facebook at Tarantula Daily Tonight, and friend me there. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.